One of the cliched lines I see in resumes is I am the chief organizer of my cultural event.
Right.
I am the chief, I have been in the organizing committee of, my festival, college festival.
Right.
And I get to see it out of the 200 students I interview in a college, 150 students present that.
Right.
Now, how do, as an interviewer, do you differentiate from somebody who has actually been a chief organizer or not? And two, if I do not want to be a part of those mass, what is the care I need to take so that point impresses the interviewer?
In a college, when I go in and I see a resume where a person says he's a chief organizer, I frankly do not give any value to that. I also come across many people who claim the fact that they were a leader of the project team. Now, for me, when 5 people from the same batch come together, the concept of leader is something that probably the professor or the faculty members have just nominated someone. So it does not actually talk about leadership skill to me. So I give weightage for the person's what the person has done, but I don't give weightage so much for the fact that the person has called himself a chief. Now, does the person have the leadership skill? Can the person actually look at the problem holistically? That is something that I will test by asking questions. So when I do ask a question and the person is able to bring the different perspective, talk about the team's contribution as well as his own contribution, and is able to impress me by the fact that he as a member of the team was able to bring the team together, coordinate it, then I am already in love with him. So it really does not matter to me so much, because you are right, many people claim to be the leader, and unfortunately most of these resumes end up with one person, so it becomes a joke, nothing beyond that.
Right. So students, that's one thing which you might want to be careful about and guard yourself against. A lot of valuable inputs from you, Mr. Abdullah. I have a last question for you on this topic of resume design and resume questions. If there is one thing you would like to advise to a student post resume design before they walk into an interview, what would that advice be? What is that you would like students to be prepared once they complete their resume and they walk into an interview?
I would give 2 comments. Number 1, resume is the first impression of a person. Therefore, even before I look at a student, I am looking at the resume. Therefore, resume should scream and tell me that the person who is going to step inside for the interview room is the right candidate for me, which would mean it should be professional. But having said that, for me, resume design is only the first step of the big battle. Once a student has prepared the resume, I would strongly suggest that you look at the resume as if you are the person who is interviewing the person, and try to make as many questions as possible. The advantage of an HR interview vis-a-vis a technical interview is that in technical interview, the syllabus is vast. In HR interview, you are the syllabus. So it's quite easy for you to predict the questions that can be probably asked. And once you predict the question, then you can also think of the answer that you can give. And thinking early helps you come out with an answer which probably is much more powerful than an answer you will come on the spot there. So for me, as I said, resume is only, design is only the first step. The second step and the more important step is coming out with the anticipated questions. Why do I say that? I say that because tomorrow when a student steps inside the interview room and any question is asked, if the person is already prepared for that, the confidence boost the person gets is phenomenal that it could probably take him through the interview. So preparation has to be given more weightage than resume. But having said that, resume is a document that is reaching the hands of the interviewer. Therefore, it better be perfect.
Right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Abdullah, for your inputs. I hope most of our students benefit from the inputs you have provided, relieve their concerns regarding the questions. In fact, I liked one of the statements you have made. As far as HR interview is concerned, the syllabus is you. You need to be prepared. In fact, in our next set of videos, we would be looking at more questions, the HR questions, the interview questions, and how do we answer those questions as well, and your concerns regarding that. Meanwhile, if any one of you have any concerns and you would like a specific question to be answered by Mr. Abdullah, kindly write to support@conio.com so that your questions are answered by the experts out here. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and all the very best.